dun, dun. Nettle like that. I said, oh, hey, Instagram, it's me, T, from the Pattersons taking the train to bed. So look, I'm drinking tea right now. Nice tea. It's the Nettle brand Nettle. Nettle brand Nettle is Uteca Dio Ica. Look, I can't. It's one of those Latin names like that. Hey, Sludata. You know, how you doing? Don't worry, we'll get to something right now. So, but this is basically stinging nettle, but it's the organic one, right? And I'm taking it because, well, I'm drinking the tea, and in the morning, in the morning you're supposed to have what, hot water, lemon, and cayenne pepper, when you wake up in the morning because it starts your system going, your elimination, all that stuff. But I usually don't talk to you all like that when I'm, you know, when I'm doing the Instagram. I used to do this a lot when I was doing just my YouTube, right? Oh, hey, plus, look, I got my, this is my Ogun cap. You say, Ogun, what are you talking about? Isn't Ogun Nigerian? I thought Ogun's color, look, Ogun from the Yoruba culture, Nigeria, da 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 da. When it's in Nigeria, Ogun's color is like blue, then goes to Brazil, it becomes condemblé, and to Ogun's color. Then it becomes blue and white. Then it goes up to North America, up through Cuba, the Cuba strain, comes to Cuba to North America, and there the color change. How's Ogun's color change? In a while, maybe sometime I'll reveal it to you. Well, whatever. And the colors for Ogun up in from the Cuban strain is when it's called, when it gets up here, I think it's called Santeria. Then don't matter. It's Ogun. Ogun's Ogun's the warrior. But his colors are black. See black. See this is black. One side is black, right? And then it's also green. That's his other color with a little bit of red. Da-da-da-da. Hence the red like that. So I know you all think it's communist or something like that. Well, think what you will. Inform yourself. Do your research. I'm giving you some research. How do young people say? I'm putting you up on game. I say that. Anyway, and I'm taking a sticky nettle. I'll tell you another day. Maybe when I'm leaving, I leave on Wednesday. Maybe I'll reveal whatever stinging nettles or something. Okay. So anyway, we're on the green side now because we have things that's happening in the world. Oh, 2025 is going to be an interesting year. What's happening? Why are you so excited, brother? Well, the Sahel states. We're talking about Burkina Faso, what I call them Command Evil. Well, Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali. They have an association, whatever. They're getting together. Well, they got together already when they did whatever, and they have the alliance of the Sahel states, the AES. I guess it's French, so the S is states. Look, that's what it is, right? And so they've invited other people, like I think Chad's coming in on it. Well, there's a bunch of people coming in on it, and then they have an association like that, and they're not in competition with anyone because they have a whole other mentality, right? And we welcome them because the demise of the African Union is at hand. Well, the African Union is, we all know. If you don't know, just make like you know. I don't want you to be uninformed. Most of those people, they are like toadying, good word, toadying for the former colonizers or for wannabe colonizers. There's the problem. And so, and in fact, then I think it's not the European Union. What's the other one? ECOWAS. Oh, what a disaster. Oh, talk about toadying for the ECOWAS what's more severe than toadying? Whatever, eating out the licking out the I won't say it. Let me. This is a family show. Anyway, so they're kicking people out, and you can't be here. I'm talking about those guys, ECOWAS, whatever they call it, like that. So, but what's important. Let's stay on A. It's like the Sahel states, right? Man, they did something. First of all, and we're in the green side because out of the three guys I know, the commander, I call him Commander Ibrahim. I know it's Captain Torre and all that stuff. Out of all of them, right? And they're military people. Now, let me say something about military oil people that dress in military. Whatever. Look, Mr. Neely Fuller Jr. says that we all have our uniforms. Now, the whole thing, especially with black folks, I'm saying black right now. Don't worry about the other stuff. Our uniform is our blackness. It's our blackness. That's our uniform. I know you may have green uniform, you have blue caps, you get brown caps or whatever have you, but our uniform, we can wear a brown uniform and green fatigues or jungle, whatever, desert look or whatever. No, black. That's our uniform. You can't take this uniform off. We are in a state of war. We've been in a state of war. The thing is that we'd like to, we don't want no conflict. We want people to leave us alone and stuff like that. But people keep on bothering them. They bother you because we got this uniform. Let me tell you something. You can't get away from your identity. Let me tell you something. When I was going to university, when I was living up in Alice, right? There's a chicken joint called Champs. There's only two in the world. Champs is in Alice and in Fort Beaufort, right? I know the owners, whatever. They got their eye from don't worry about it. The point is, the store the shop store, the Champs. It's on like a peninsula. I say a peninsula. The street goes like this, and it's the main street sort of in Alice, right? And all our sides we have all our people. There's this guy that's always out there. You know how they're not wearing shoes. They're all. I don't want to call them bums or something like that, but I just did it. Sorry about that. But they're street people. They're the real downtrodden, right? And he was out there railing in the middle of the street. He says, they want my ID. My ID. This is my ID. I fell out, man. Oh man, because he's basically saying that we gotta register with the state. We gotta have a petition. You want that. You gonna ask me who I am? You see who I am? What? So we're in a state of war. Now, the only people that's really dealing with this is like the brothers up there. Now, I particularly like the Mali guy. Why do you like the Mali guy, brother? Oh, because he's got the beard. He's got his tam, his beret is green. You know what I mean? So in honor of him, I'm doing like that. I just like him. What can I tell you? I know everybody's into Commander Ibrahim. I understand that. And the Jia guy's cool, whatever. But you pick your leaders. You know what I mean? I can't speak French or something like that. So all three of them, it doesn't matter to me. So. That's it. I picked the Mali guy. What's his name, brother? You pick him. You're following. I'm not following him. I just like him. Right? I'll pronounce his name sooner or later. We got a whole year, less than a year to go. Anyway, they have just come up with their symbol. Because for a long time, I wanted to get an African Union flag. I guess I didn't do it. Anyway, African Union has Africa, including Madagascar, and then it has the stars going all around this green flag, and I really like it. I'm going to get it eventually. I guess that's the African Union. I got to get it because anyway, I want to get that. But Burkina Faso, but the Sahel states, this alliance, they've come together, and they have a symbol, a flag, whatever it is, a banner, whatever it is. And their symbol is the baobab tree, the African tree. You've seen it like that. The green is all on top. It's an African tree. You sit around and you get knowledge around that, right? And then above that you have three stars. Well, I happen to be a Cancerian 3, so 3 is one of my numbers. So that caught my eye. Under the sun, the tree. Let me say about trees. Trees is a good symbol because trees, they're connected to the rest of the world. No, I had an incident with the sea. Anyway, I have this spinal. I have a problem, right? And when this was like 2002. Yeah, 2000. I guess it's 2002. Yeah, 2002 when I had my incident with the sea. Let's put it that way. And one of the I hang out with a lot of different people, and one of my crowd is like new age people, the airy fairy people, and so this woman, she said, look, we're gonna this. I was recovering in Virginia, but somehow I was in New York, and so anyway, in New York, right by up there in Harlem, by by the big cathedral there, where Martin Luther King gave his famous speech why he opposed the war in Vietnam, all that stuff. That big cathedral right there on the west side, up there in Harlem, like in by Columbia, and what's that union? The Theological Seminary Union. There's a whole. It's an area, right? Anyway, there's a little park, a tree, where they have the Japanese gave them one of those. Not this time of year. In a few months, the cherry blossom tree, whatever. It's this tiny park, and there's this tree there, and so I picked a tree. I know where it is. And every time I'm in New York, that's where I go to my healing tree, and I put my back against the tree. I do a little meditation. I just heal like that. In Gubeville, I have a tree in Gubeville too. Those are the only two places I have trees. Gotta find another place, I suppose. Gotta find a place, I guess in Virginia, but anyway. And so the tree, when this tree heals me, right? Well, it's healing. It's supposed to be sending healing vibe. But trees are connected all over the world. The only other organism I think that's connected like that are mushrooms. Mushrooms and trees. You talk to one tree, you talk to one mushroom, you're actually talking to all the trees all over the world. I'm just saying, right? Okay, back to the point. So, but they have this thing where they're saying, look, if you want to be, I'm paraphrasing. Right? They said, prove you're truly African, right? If you're really truly African, you need to join us. All African countries, you can join us because we have a whole different agenda. We ain't like these other toadies. We ain't like the toadies, right? We ain't like these people who keep on reacting to the former colonizers and like that. No. We're doing things a little bit. We're doing things a whole lot different, right? And so that is a big thing. Because now we have another organization. Now I got to get their symbol because the baobab tree and the three stars and the sun. Oh, that's my kind of symbol, Instead of stars. We're all stars. That's the problem with what do you call it? The ECOWAS and the African Union and a bunch of other people. Their problem is that they all think they stars, They're not working for the downtrodden. They're not working for the people. They want to do everything to remain stars. That's why you have all these old people trying to hang on to their whatever. Anyway, so one more thing. I want to say this, and I'll try to end it here. For a long time, ever since I've known, every time people would say something like, well, Africa, they name countries like say for instance, the OJ's song, Love Train, everybody get on board, Love Train, then they mention, they mention all these countries, then they say, well, Africa, and so everybody said, well, Africa is not a country, it's a continent. It's always somebody says that, somebody thinks they're smart. Well, I guess technically you're right. But what I like is that now that we identify, now we can actually, since Africa, we think of Africa as Africa, nobody knows the little different countries, you know what I mean? So what happens is, so when we say Africa, it's a unity thing. So it's the next step is just to say, let's come together, We're not, we've been this way for a long time. So that's what I like about what's going on in the world today and what's going to happen this next year. It's going to be really, really interesting. I just say, depend on watch who you follow or you get information from, because not a whole lot of people know a lot about what's going on in Africa. And luckily for us, now there's a lot of African commentaries, or I guess you call them YouTubers or Instagrammies or whatever or Xers, whatever you all call yourselves when you're talking like this. And I advocate for this. I need everyone. If you got a camera, if you got a way to get on an app or something like that, whatever, join the social media thing. Now, look, you don't have to participate, man, but you want to post everyone. say once a week. Just post something, say something like once a day, once a week, every 3 days. I'm trying for every 3 days, but that's not going to happen because I got blah, blah, blah. I'm a radio man, so I talk, right? So anyway, the more people who post, that means when something happens, everybody, whoosh. I know it sort of clutters the thing, but that's what happens. So you got that, and that means there's more opinions out there. There's more people that say, wait a second, but this person's saying that. And it's not like before when I was growing up, when you only had 3 TV channels, ABC, and well, I was in New York, so you had Channel 2, Channel 4, Channel 7, and then eventually in the 60s, you got the government, I'll say the government, the public broadcasting thing. I have to go, the whole public broadcasting owes it to where I come from, which is the Pacifica model. That was usurped by Lyndon Johnson when they made the public broadcasting because they realized that the people would go with Pacifica, which is listener sponsored completely, no corporate. They were going, but then they put in this this whole thing where the government was half funding it. Out of that comes C-SPAN and all this other stuff. But then it got a little corporate sponsorship like that, so that messed up that model. But the point really is, I'm sorry I have to meander, and I'm going to end it here. But the point is, the more people who talk, the more people who have their point of view out there, that you can, because this is historic. When I say historic, I mean when I'm talking to you right now, you think I'm talking to my 5 or 6 people that listen to this, right? But I was a part of this initiative called Pan-African Space Station. I was a production engineer. Doesn't matter. But I have to tell you, we had this thing. We had a stage. It was a month initiative. This is blowing. Well, we were the first African presence over South Africa, to have to use the internet as a broadcasting. We had a special conversation with that. Anyway, so when people and then we had this stage, we had acts, how you call that, big time acts for this month and different things. But one of the things we also did, we had a stage there. We had a DJ rig and a stage, and then my transmission, station like that, like my broadcast, whatever. Technical stuff, but on this stage, anybody can come with you with poetry, be bands or whatever have you. And a lot of times people come. There's only like maybe it's a small space. It could hold about maybe I guess comfortably maybe 50 people. But in that situation, people you might have perform. You might have 5, say 10 people always. And I would tell the bands, I say, look. We're putting this on the internet. We're recording it, like that. So you think you're talking to, you think you're performing for 5 people here, right? Or you're performing for 20 people. But eventually, this thing is going to be recorded. Millions of people will see your thing. So perform like you're performing for millions of people. So I'm talking to you only because I don't expect my 5 or 6 people. I'm not looking for 3,000, 5,000, 500,000 YouTubers and whatever. I don't look for no followers. I'm not trying to get so. I don't even ask you to share, subscribe, or whatever you all are doing, or send money. None of that stuff. So my YouTube is not monetized. You know what I mean? It's Creative Commons. So my point is, you do stuff, make a record of what you're doing, what you makes it, and that way you're part of the zeitgeist, whatever you call it, the ether, whatever. You're part of this whole movement, and the more people who talk, and then because you're talking, then you got to do a little research. Because I think right now the most important thing about the internet is that we have to have researchers. There's a lot of good researchers out there, and as soon as you do your research, you put it out there, then other people say, oh, they're wrong. Then they'll do their research until we have a situation where you're no longer controlled by 3 media entities or whatever, however they got out there. People are not listening to that anymore. They're listening to an informed opinion, an informed situation. Okay, so I just want to. I'm here for a few more days, and then I'm off to some real deep healing in India. All right. Okay, so I'll check you later. Got to go.